You know, I think our stories often are very personal, and for me, my interest in wood came from being a young child in my grandfather's wood shop, and I learned a lot about wood from him by touching it. And then when I became an architect, nobody was talking about wood. And it wasn't until I moved home to Canada and to British Columbia that I started remembering wood and remembering that I could build in wood. And that was the beginning for me, and now that's all I build in. So what's interesting is we think of wood as traditional, and sometimes architects don't think of it as modern. But what I always say is that it's the most sophisticated material that we can build with as designers or contractors or engineers, and nature has figured out how to make something very strong, very light, very beautiful, very warm. I think more and more people will start to understand that it's a material of the future. So the biggest issue is that steel and concrete together are 11% of man's greenhouse gas emissions, 11%. Whereas wood is the opposite. And what we have to do as a planet is reduce high emissions materials like steel and concrete and increase the use of materials that store carbon like wood. People assume that steel versus wood, that wood is going to be more vulnerable. We actually use wood to protect the steel from fire, because steel, when it heats up, it'll fail. Whereas wood, it'll burn, but it burns fairly predictably if it's big, if it's a big piece of wood. Small pieces will burn quickly, big pieces very slowly, very predictably. And so we can actually use scientific sort of testing to look at how much wood will burn over a period of time. And the calculation is roughly 0.6 millimeters per minute of wood. So if you want the fire to last to a maximum of 1 hour to protect the wood, then we need to add 0.6 millimeters times 60 minutes, which is 3.6 centimeters of extra wood.